Okay, just want to introduce NotebookLM, which is a product from Google that uses Google's Gemini models to basically turn your own information into something that can be queried with one of these chatbots. So some of the things you can do with it, you can upload PDFs, you can put websites or YouTube videos, Google documents, even Word documents, all kinds of files. And then NotebookLM will summarize them and make interesting connections between topics, all powered by the latest models. So this NotebookLM is multimodal, so it means it can understand audio, it can understand video, and it can create audio and video as well. So just for the free version, we'll go and just look at the plans really quickly. So you can see the free version, we get standard audio and video generation. There's a couple other things that we can get that we'll look at shortly. You get access to the Gemini models. You just get the standard access, and then you can have up to 50 documents per notebook. Okay, this is just for free. And then as you can see, as we upgrade, then we can get more and more documents per notebook, and we get access to more and more features. So we'll just go with the standard, the bog standard one. So what I've done in preparation, I've just created a few sample standard operating procedures. So we just have to look at these here. So the operating procedures look like this. Okay, so this is SOP1, lockout tagout procedure for electrical equipment. And you can see there's the purpose, the scope, responsibilities, and then the actual procedure steps that need to be followed. Some safety considerations, and then references, and of course we need a version history as well. So as you can see, this is just a sample, but all my samples are formatted the same. As you can see, this is SOP2, wire termination and crimping. Again, it's follow the same structure, just to basically make things, standardized. So I have 10 of these examples. Okay, for just some fictional company that creates electrical panels. And what I do is I go over to NotebookLM, I create a new notebook. This one I've just called it SOP Wiki. And then I add my sources. Okay, so I click this button here and I can add sources from websites, YouTube, or from my Google Drive, or I can just upload files from my computer. So I have 10 already, and you can see I'm on a plan where I can upload 100. So I'm just one above the free plan, but the free plan, that would be 50. So 10, as you can see here, we have our SOP. So just to double check, I can click in, I can see what is this one all about. Okay, SOP1 is the lockout tagout. It gives me a summary here of the entire document, or I can scroll down and I can see what's actually in the document itself. So that's my sources. Like I say, I just have 10, as an example to show how this works. So we'll just close that. So we have our chat here in the middle. As soon as I upload the sources, it's going to basically give me, an executive summary, if you like, of all of the sources. And it basically, it'll highlight certain things that are important, like the lockout tagout, safety and quality control, and so on. So what I can do is it'll, suggest some questions for me, but I might maybe just have a specific question that I can ask, and these are the only sources that the model knows about to search through. So it's really handy for that. So you could type anything. What is the lockout tagout procedure? So if we just say something like that, then pretty quickly it comes back with an answer. So let's go through to see is it correct. Procedure for electrical equipment is safety protocol designed. Okay, yes. And as you can see here, it's cited something here. So if I hover over that, I can see exactly where it's got that information from the document and which document that it's looking at. Okay, so that's obviously SOP1 that it's getting at, which would be the correct SOP to look at. And then the implementation steps. So I'm just going to compare these with the document that I have here. So there are 11 steps. First one is notify. Okay. Notification, yes. Identification. Okay, so it goes down. There's only 8 steps here, so that's a bit of a problem. So let me see, does it cover everything? Release, verify isolation, perform the afterworks completed, and then remove the LOT device. Oh yes, it does actually give me them steps here. It just hasn't numbered them. So that's good. It looks like it's answering the question correctly. So another way that we might be able to, navigate this is there's a couple of different things here. We could generate a podcast, essentially, where there's a couple of people talking about the procedures. So it's just like 2 people having a conversation. We could do a slide deck. That's not on the free version, but on the free version we still have the mind map, the video, reports, flashcards, and quiz, and also a data table. So as you can see, I've generated a couple of things here already. So I've generated an infographic, for example. Let's have a look at that to see what that looks like. And that's just based on these SOPs. So this has went for the journey of a control panel from parts to power. And essentially it is talking about how all of the different stages to create a control panel. So that's a handy tool. Let's close that. The one that's really going to be most beneficial is this mind map. So if I look at the mind map, what it's doing is it's mapping everything, back to the SOPs. So let's say if I want to quickly go through all of this information, I could maybe, let's say, go for safety and compliance, where those SOPs, lockout tagout one. Let's say we go for regulatory compliance. And you can see here that there's different topics. So if I select CE marking requirements, you can see it generates a prompt for me. So I don't have to, prompt it. I just can click on that and it will give me all that information. So again, we can see where is it citing this stuff from. We can look and see that was SOP 7. Yeah. Okay, and what's this one that it's looking at? SOP 7 as well. Okay, so you can see it's referencing different parts of the same document. And that is correct. That's the document that we would expect to see it in, is the SOP 7. It's the one that talks about the CE mark and everything. So that's just, again, this mind map tool is really handy to kind of get a bird's eye view of everything, of all of your procedures. So basically, this is just, example procedures at the moment. So the best thing to do is really to upload your own, actual procedures. And then the good thing about NotebookLM is it doesn't train the model on any of your information. So your sources are kept private, and so is the chat as well. But you can also, share this notebook with other people, so they can come in and they can ask questions, and they basically don't have to upload the sources again or anything. And in the studio, you'll have these artifacts already created. So just finally, you'll go and have a brief look at, I asked for a brief overview of all of the SOPs. So this is what it came up with. Let's have a look and see.
Let's talk about the hidden rule books that build our world. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs.
So how do you build something perfectly every single time? Well, it all comes down to a system.
Basically, an SOP is the ultimate recipe. It ensures everything is done right for quality and safety. To see how this works, we're going to follow the journey of an electrical control panel guided by its SOPs. Okay, first things first. Before any work starts, the plans and parts have to be absolutely perfect. Once everything's approved, technicians start the build, mounting components, running wires, all by the book. And look at this detail. Even a single wire connection has its own strict step-by-step procedure. And this quote says it all. Safety isn't an afterthought, it's built right into the process. The panel is built, but now it has to survive the gauntlet, a whole series of intense tests. First up, a high voltage test. This is a huge safety check for any flaws in the insulation. Then they power it up. Every button, light, and function gets...
Okay, I'll not continue with that, but you can see, that generated a video that was quite informative, and just by the click of a button. Again, the mind map's really handy because it's interactive, and it means we can get around all of these SOPs really quickly. So that's just a quick demonstration of Google's NotebookLM. Really good for getting answers quickly from large sets of documents. So hopefully that's helpful.